Joining us today on Recovery Works is an absolutely amazing person. He's overcome some of the most challenging things that life can throw at us. It's been an absolute joy working with this person and learning from him through his journey of recovery. I'd love to welcome Justin Hedges.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So Justin, I've worked with you for a few months now. It's you've really been an amazing person to see grow through this whole process. So why don't you go ahead and just kind of share us the beginning of your journey of what led you onto your road to recovery.
I've always had back issues, and getting a prescription from my chiropractor when I was 15. Started there. And then going on, from having back issues and always being prescribed something to, a lot of people don't know this, but like the restaurant business, there's at least half the people are on something in the restaurant business.
Wow.
And most cooks and stuff like that. And so I've had both sides. Like I've gotten to see the medical side to seeing the non-side, the drug dealing side and whatnot.
Yeah, of course. So with your back injury, what happened with that? How did that start?
Well, growing up, my real dad was abusive, was a very drunk and abusive guy, and he would always, whenever I do something wrong, he'd punch me in the back. So going from that as a kid, and growing up, I've had deteriorating disc, and that's how I had spine break and whatnot. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So was there a certain moment that led you to seek that help from a chiropractor and doctor to get the prescription medication?
To be honest with you, it was my mother's idea to do the chiropractic stuff.
Gotcha. And
my mom has always been like, a pill can fix everything and whatnot. So when it comes to family has always been part of my addiction.
Sure.
Like why I've been addicted as well.
Gotcha. Okay, so what do you think, progressing this, when you started taking the pills, what did that feel like? What kinds of pills were you taking, and what was the emotional experience of the pills?
Well, I started off taking perk 5s and whatnot. Then as I started taking more and more and more, I got up to liquid Oxycontin and taking milligrams of that and this, and I started taking anything I could get my hands on. And when I didn't have stuff or I'd run out, that's when I started drinking, because I didn't want to feel the withdrawals. And it got to a point where obviously I'm in the wheelchair, but that, mentally, pills and whatnot have always been my addiction and everything like that.
Yeah. So, speaking of wheelchair, were you born paralyzed in any way?
No, not at all. 2015, 4 days after my daughter was born, I was in a car accident. I was on my way to my mother's house, but I was also, I had a couple drinks, a couple perk 20s. I don't know if I passed out at the wheel, choked on pizza. I don't know really what happened, but basically I woke up in the hospital. Couldn't feel my legs. I started moving my legs a little bit, but I still am not able to wiggle my toes or move my feet up and down. Or at first I couldn't walk at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, what was it, that moment where you were like, hey, I need help. I don't want to be on these pills. When you were on the pills, did you have the feelings that, this is okay? Were you happy on them? Did you feel robbed in any way?
I felt great. I felt like, I've no pain, no nothing. It actually gave me energy. Like, as most addicts, like, Percocets will give you energy, pain medicine will give you so much more. But my wife always told me I was a prick on him. I was always mean and everything else. And I didn't see it until my recovery.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was that moment? And then we'll get into the journey of recovery, but, what was that moment where you were like, you know what, this is enough, I'm done, I want out of this lifestyle?
It actually took me a long time to fully stop.
Sure.
It wasn't until my car accident where I was like, all right, addiction puts you in a wheelchair. Addiction, you can't do stuff like, you can't go play ball with your kids anymore.
Of course.
That really hit home, and it was like, okay, I got to do something.
Of course.
I have to get control of this.
What was it like waking up in a hospital? You shared too that you'd woken up 7 weeks after?
7 weeks after my car accident. Yeah, I was in a coma for 7 weeks. My lungs were so bad that they weren't able to do spine surgery right away.
Oh my goodness.
And I was actually put on ECMO, which 10% of adults make it off of. And I'm part of that 10%.
What was that like? Emotionally, mentally, physically? Can you take us through that?
Mentally, waking up in the hospital. I mean, I woke up in the hospital and like my wife said, I grabbed everything. It's blurry, but it's not. But it was very scary. It was this addiction recovery has. My car accident has really brought it to home because I've seen people like dying in the hospital.
Yeah.
That don't have as much problems as I do, or I don't have as much problems as they do, and I can't tell you what waking up not being able to feel your legs is scary. It's very scary.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Emotionally, you were just so you're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel sad, angry?
Disappointed.
Disappointed.
Disappointed in myself because not only was I letting down myself, I was letting down my family and my daughters and my wife. And my wife has, during this recovery, my wife has dealt with everything. Most people could say, my wife does it with me. No, my wife is straight edge. She doesn't do nothing, and she's had to deal with addiction in general, like me being addicted and everything else. Like she stayed in there.
Wow, she sounds like an amazing woman.
Sure is. She
awesome.
She has helped me through my recovery. I mean, not to say it like it is, but if a woman stays around after wiping your ass, I mean, it's kind of, it's a keeper.
Of course,
she's a keeper.
Of course, that's a whole definition changer of keeper, right?
Right.
Well, wow. So, building up to this, you said that your mom was involved with the pills, and you've shared with me your grandmother has even at a point been a supplier in a way. Could you just share with us how that played into this progression?
My family, my mother was all about like, okay, if you do this for me, I'll give you a couple Percocets. And then my grandmother was actually, my uncle and I were doing stuff together because we worked together.
Yeah.
And he had shoulder problems, I had back problems. And my supplier, my dealer was my grandmother. And,
wow.
And yeah. You would think you would get deals, but no.
No?
No, my grandma was pretty tough about it.
Very tough? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So did that kind of change the relationship between you and your grandmother?
I know it's going to sound bad. It kind of brought me and my grandmother together because her and I really didn't, my grandmother was a biker and a nurse, so I really didn't get along with her. My older brother got along with her, I didn't.
Wow, a nurse who was your drug dealer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, so building up to, after the car wreck, what was it like going through the motions of rehabilitation, of recovery, in the sense of just, getting back to where we are now?
Well, I have no patience, obviously, you know this, but I've had to learn patience a lot and slow coming, and it takes time, you know. I always thought that you can just blow by things and whatnot, but in my recovery, taking my recovery seriously, I've had to slow it down and watch things. Like, I was so obsessed because I couldn't move my feet or move my legs. I wanted to move my legs. I couldn't walk or anything like that. And it took time. It took working out, getting back to me. And I think that's what has made me stay, you know, clean.
Wow, yeah. So that extra effort in life.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. So when they were writing you, these pain scripts, were they trying to get you to exercise? Were they trying to get you to stretch and do the things that, I know you love doing?
Well, no, not at all. A lot of people say that, they go to a pain management doctor or whatever, and the pain management doctor I had just wrote a script. I'd ask him about workouts, stretches, all that other stuff, and what I should do for pain. If I'm in pain, can I stretch a certain? No. He was more of just, there you go.
Wow.
I think that's what's wrong with most, and why people get more addicted.
Well, yeah. How did that make you feel when you tried to be like, hey, I want different therapies, and he kept you to the medicine?
To be honest with you, it stopped making me go to him. I stopped going to him, and that's what made my journey come here.
Wow, wow. So, moving forward to your journey in recovery, was this the first recovery center you've been to?
No, not at all. I've actually been to, I was with one other one, and it was kind of sketchy and whatnot.
When you say sketchy, please draw that out.
For instance, they were selling pizza in the parking lot, you know what I mean? They were doing meth in the parking lot, You get close with people that are trying to recover, that are at the programs, but never one like this. Never one that was actually involved.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So when you say involved, that means the world to us, man, because that's what our mission is. What would you say? Why us? Why our facility?
Can I be honest?
Of course, please.
Okay. Well, Kelsey was the one who brought me in. She was amazing on helping me recover. But once I got here, like before counseling, I never took it serious. I played on my phone, whatnot, at old places. But you were the one that actually got me here, or got me talking about my feelings, talking about my emotions, getting me back to me.
Oh,
you're the one that really has done it all.
Oh, man, that means the world to me, seriously. And I can't tell you, Justin, you've made me seen the world in a whole different light. And man, dude, the things that you've got for the world, buddy, I'm just blessed to be alongside you, man.
Same here. Getting to know you has been great. I mean, I want to say that I'm closer with you than I am my brothers.
Wow.
Yeah, I've opened up to you more than and that's what kept me here. That's what keep most people here, is you as a counselor. It all starts somewhere,
Well, I greatly appreciate that, but man, I hope you took the steps, my man.
Oh,
You're the powerhouse behind this whole operation, okay? And then, so moving forward on around Suboxone, buprenorphine, there's a lot of people who don't understand it.
There's a lot of negativity.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who don't understand it, who think that, it's trading. It's the same thing as heroin. It's trading.
Yeah.
Could you share your opinion on that? And how this medication has, what are your thoughts on it, and how can you steer clear that, because it's getting better as we're seeing over time. This is the gold standard of treatment. It helps so many people.
And that's the thing. A lot of people say Suboxone is bad, and they use it for heroin addicts and what. No, not at all. It gives you enough as an addict to be fine, be the normal you, but it also it keeps you straight. Doesn't make you have cravings or anything like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at it like a bad way, and it's not at all. It's changed my life.
Definitely. So how long have you been sober now?
I have been sober from pain pills and all that other stuff almost 3 years, 4 years. 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's
4
freaking
years.
awesome.
I
Oh my
know.
God. So what have you gained in your sobriety?
In my sobriety, just getting to know people. Getting to know God too. My what's it called? My religiousness.
Yeah.
I'm in my church. I'm active in my church. And that's that. I mean, you don't think of this stuff when you're addicted. You don't. All you think about is, what can I do to get that next fix?
Of course, 100%.
And being clean, it's great because I get to see stuff that my kids are showing. I get to notice everything in life.
100%. So what would you tell someone who's either considering, coming to recovery with us, or they're afraid of the judgment, the stigma, and that they keep using because they're just afraid? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, when you first come here, they make you feel welcome. Not only they, but not the people that work here, or not only the people that work here, but the people that come here. Everybody is, there. Everybody wants you to recover. They want to know how you're doing. Even myself, I want to know how others are doing, who it is. But that's the thing is, you have to make that first step. You have to do it, or even if your wife or your girlfriend is the one reaching out, you have to make that first step.
Wow, that's awesome.
But it's so easy coming here, so easy. I mean, getting to know you has been great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You said you had a family and a wife.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How is your relationship different from the past to how it is now?
A lot more honest, I can tell you that.
More honest.
But no, I had my first child at 20, and yes, it was young and whatnot. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking about growing up or anything. I wasn't even thinking about recovering in my addiction. Period.
Sure.
I didn't bring it around my kids, but it still didn't matter. Like my wife and I are honest with one another. And my kids, my 4-year-old, my wife will tell you, shouldn't know as much as she does.
Of course.
But I'm 100% honest with my daughter, 100% honest with my wife.
Wow.
And it's brought us closer together. To be honest with you, and sorry for my language, but it's kind of cut the bullshit out.
Cut the bullshit out. I like it. Definitely. Yeah. So would you trade all of this journey, this progression, this road to recovery, would you trade it?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all, no. I mean, everybody looks at me being in a wheelchair, or my, the process I had to go through for breaking my spine and all the surgeries and whatnot. I mean, granted, yeah, it sucked, but I wouldn't trade it in the world.
Yeah.
It's made me get to know my kids. It's made me, well, I want to say made, but it's let me see life in a different perspective.
100%, yeah. And circling back to the change that you've seen in yourself, would you attribute that to your family, to just going through the process and kind of putting all the pieces together? What do you think you would attribute that to?
I'm very hard-headed. A lot of people, when something bad happens, they change. Not at all. I literally had to have something happen to me, and for me to change. And like I said, this place is done, like Marion Opiate or whatever opiate has changed everything, because I take it serious. I take my Suboxone classes serious. I take my counseling serious. I take my life serious.
Take your life serious. Wow.
After coming here, yes.
Wow. So the statistic you shared of only 10% of people who were on that regimen,
ECMO, yeah,
they make it off.
Yeah.
So you've already beat those odds. And then the doctors, they said that you were never to walk again, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So they thought that.
They thought I'd be paralyzed from the waist down.
Wow.
And I woke up. I got put in a chair, and I started moving my legs back and forth because I was bored. But yeah, in my recovery and whatnot, I've always beaten the odds, which, knock on wood, but it's made me look at life and God, tell him thank you. I have to say, like, there was this one lady, she had to take shots of my heart in the hospital. And in the 26 years she's been there, she has never spoken to somebody that has made it off of ECMO.
Wow.
Or an adult that's made it off of ECMO.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, that hit home. It made me appreciate life more.
Of course, man.
And of course, my kids do and my wife do, but it's the little things in life that bring you back.
100%. So Justin, are you able to take the stand for us?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man. That is freaking incredible. So among all of the things these doctors told you,
They say it wouldn't walk again. They said all that. Actually, I think I'm calling it. They said it wouldn't do any of that, and I've beaten the odds, like 100%. And here, let me kind of show this for you.
Wow, brother.
They said I wouldn't walk ever again.
That's incredible, man.
And
oh my goodness, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
With discipline, physical therapy, I mean, coming here.
Yeah.
It all, I mean,
that's fantastic, man.
Most people want to say, you know, if you work out, you do it all. But going through this entire journey, I have noticed that it all starts mentally.
Yeah.
You have to fix up what's up here before you can fix anything else. And coming here is what fixed me up here. Oh, and made me take stuff serious and everything. I mean, changed my life.
That's incredible.
And I appreciate both of you guys, to be honest with you, Kelsey and you, because you guys brought me here.
Hey, man, we're glad. We were so happy to have you, man. It's incredible.
I love meeting new people, too.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, in a group, you were a light, man.
I appreciate
you opened the room up. So I hear you starting school again.
Right.
So where are you attending? What are you going to be doing?
I always forget the name, but it's Full Sail University. Fantastic. It's digital marketing and software development.
Awesome, man. Yeah. You excited?
Yes, I am. And because of you, I'm wanting to do college course or counseling courses and
fantastic,
for addiction, helping it, because I love helping people.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and you're going to be a great, fantastic counselor, buddy.
Thank you, man.
So leading up to the car wreck, you know, what was it like? Was that like the big event, or was there previous kind of rock bottoms before that?
A lot of people say, you know, you have to hit rock bottom before you change. I literally had to do it, but not had to, but I got to. But no, I've been in drunk tanks. I've mixed Ambien with booze and got thrown in the back of the cop car, slamming my head against the cage that's in a cop car. I got put in Tri-County one night, or that was the same night I got put in Tri-County. It took a lot for me, and I mean, probably because of my family issues and whatnot, but taking recovery seriously and everything else, I get to see the people that are actually there for me and not take them for advantage and take them advantage of them.
Of course, yeah. So building up to that, you know, how did your wife and family see that kind of progression of, you know, going to jail, you know, being thrown in the back of a jail car and kind of having these mini events that led up to the grand event of the car crash?
Well, I seen a lot of it as a kid, you know, with my dad being abusive and alcoholic. And what does it say? An alcoholic that's abusive. But I never wanted to see my kids do it. Our kids see it. And she was 4 at the time, I'm pretty sure. and she had to see me be put in the back of the cop car. Nothing. I mean, that was, thinking about it now, I mean, I wasn't in my right mind at the time. I don't even remember it. This is from what people telling me.
Sure, sure.
But my daughter should never had to go through it. My wife should have never had to deal with it. I feel bad for how much my wife has went through, and taking my recovery seriously, and actually, you know, being 4 years clean and everything else.
Yeah.
I've gotten to show my wife how much I love her, you know,
Okay.
how much I appreciate her not giving up.
Wow. How are you today?
Great. Granted, everybody has their spats with their wives and whatnot, but she'll tell you most of the time she wants to choke me. But being at home, I never wanted to be at home. I was always on the go. I was either at a friend's house or working. You know, I was never home for a long enough time.
Yeah.
Now being home all the time, my kids, that's the first thing they say when they come home from school. They're, Dad, it's so glad to see you. It's so good to see you. When they always expect me to be home.
Wow.
And it's good in a way because my wife doesn't have to worry anymore.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. So, you know, last question I want to ask is, you know, with clinicians, counselors, nurses, doctors, pharmacists, when you know, we have some that we deal with where when they hear people are on Suboxone or in recovery, they get this almost negative attitude.
Yeah, kind of like a snob thing, you know?
Yeah, like it's a negative view, and I hate it. I personally, it breaks my heart
Me
to
too.
know that. What can you tell to the clinicians if they were watching right now? What can you tell to them about this medication, about recovery, and how they need to treat people so that we can fix this problem?
A lot of people look at it as a prescription as something to abuse, something people can take advantage of or overtake. Or Suboxone, you can't overtake it. You can't. I mean, I could take 2 Suboxone films, stick them under my tongue, and I would still feel the same as if I took a little piece of it. Like it. Most pharmacists and people that think that way are idiots because it has changed. It's changed my life, and coming from a medical, because I know older people and, you know, always being in pain and doctors telling them, you know, if they would use Suboxone, then, for instance, like I wouldn't have went up on my, or got as bad as I did in my being an addict.
Understood, yeah.
But that's why you're seeing older people that are coming to Suboxone places and having addiction problems, because Percocet, pain pills, it doesn't always work, and you always got to, your tolerance gets higher.
Right.
And Suboxone, I mean, there is, you take it and you're clean, basically.
Yeah. And instead of that person looking at that person with shame and judgment, how should they look at people who are like, yeah, I'm in recovery?
You'll get a lot of negativity for being in recovery. And that sucks. I mean, it is what it is. But a lot of people, good people, are proud. They are happy to tell you, like, I'm proud you're in recovery.
Yeah.
I'm proud you're doing good.
Yeah.
My church, they all know what I've been through. You know, my addiction, stuff like that. Close people know my addiction, stuff like that. And they're proud of me. You know, I have
awesome, man.
one of my good friends, Adam. He is he's the dude that rides in the ambulance car. What is that called?
I think an ambulance.
EMT, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
EMT. And you know, he didn't even want to tell me that he was getting bad pain meds.
Wow.
Yeah, because you always got to up your dose, and Suboxone doesn't. I mean, take care of that completely.
Sure.
But even he was proud of me, and you know, it has been great.
Wow.
It has been truly great.
That's awesome, man. So shame, judgment, that's going to do nothing but hurt recovery
Right.
versus being proud of the person.
Right.
Being kind.
Being
and
positive.
Positive.
Right.
That's going to set recovery as a clear path.
To be honest with you, I think more people would come to recovery and be honest and open and everything else if more people were like here, like with arms open and caring asking you how you really are. You know, that's when I first met you. You asked me, "How you doing, Justin?" And I can tell you meant it.
Fantastic, man.
It's been awesome.
Hey, man, you've been awesome. Seriously.
Thank you.
Justin, see nothing but the best for you, man. I just want to say thank you so much for doing this with us, man. You're going to inspire so many people, and I'm excited to see your future because I see nothing but the best for you, buddy.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, yeah.
I do want to tell people that are watching this and everything else, I had to literally break my spine, break bones. Don't let it get that far. Don't let your addiction go as far as hurting yourself or anything else. Come to recovery, and you'll be the best decision you made. You know, you actually feel good. Being an addict, you're always depressed, you know, angry, but being clean I can be myself.
Wow. And I couldn't end it on a better note than that. So thank you again, my man. I appreciate it, brother.
It's always good being with you.
You too, man.